For all those who were involved in the Makita battery segment and worked regularly and intensively with battery-powered tools will be familiar with the following problem. Although the devices are still relatively compact and handy in connection with the batteries, every additional gram definitely makes a difference in the long run. That's why today I have an extremely practical gadget from Makita to show you, which can make handling any battery-powered device more comfortable and less fatiguing. I'm talking about the backpack or the back-carried battery bank from Makita, the PDC01. We'll discuss what this device is all about, what we can expect from it, and for whom this investment is worthwhile. We'll answer these questions together in today's video. So, without further ado, let's get started right after the intro. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for free and activate the notification bell to never miss a video in the future. You can find the current prices of all these devices in the video description below. Thank you very much for your support, and let's get started after the intro. For those of you who are heavy users of Makita's battery-powered tools, I have an extremely practical gadget on the table today. I'm talking about the PDC01, a back-carried battery bank, a battery housing that allows us to save weight on the actual battery device and increase the capacity. We'll take an in-depth look at what we can really expect from this device, how it performs in practice, and whether it's worth the investment or not. Let's start by looking at the external aspects, namely the product box. As you can see on the front, we have a large image of the actual device, then the product name. On the right side, it looks similar, and on the back, we find more specifications. So let's now take a look at what's included in the package to see what really comes with it. As you can see, the package includes the actual battery bank, the power pack, whatever you want to call it, along with a small additional carrying bag. Also included is a quite thick user manual in multiple languages, and not to forget the adapter cable. That's all for the contents of the package. This means you'll have to purchase the batteries and charger separately for this battery bank, or does it come with them included? So far, so good. Now, let's take a detailed look at the actual battery bank, the PDC01. Starting from the external features, upon first inspection and touch, you can immediately tell that it's the typical Makita quality. This means the battery bank is very high quality and robustly built. It's made of thick plastic housing. The cable also gives an impression of extreme durability and resistance. So here we have the expected Makita quality. If we're not wearing the battery bank on our back, there's a sufficiently large handle on the top made of hard rubber, allowing us to comfortably transport the device both with and without batteries. Additionally, it has a net weight, meaning without batteries, of only 4.2 kilograms, so in that regard, the battery bank is relatively lightweight. On the back, there's a padded unit consisting of 2 shoulder straps and a waist belt. Both elements, as you can see, are made of thick, well-padded, but also very sturdy material. Similarly, the actual back contact area, as you can see, is well lined with padding, just like what we know from the large Makita petrol blower, which I've showcased separately before. The video is here in the top right corner. In conjunction with the adjustable straps that we find on each belt, the entire back unit can be easily adjusted to almost any body size. From my practical experience, I can definitely say that the overall battery bank is quite comfortable in terms of wear. Additionally, there are practical features such as this compact carrying bag. It's attached to the waist belt and allows for storing the battery adapter or, optionally available, another strap for attaching battery-powered trimmers or brush cutters, also on the waist belt. So that covers the back unit. Now, I would say let's take a closer look at the other side, where the batteries go in. For this purpose, on the back, we find the turquoise battery compartment cover, made of thick plastic. On the right side, there's a large, smoothly operating latch, and right below it are the battery slots. As you can see, the Makita battery bank PDC01 has a total of 4 battery slots. These slots are numbered on the underside and, more importantly, designed exclusively for 18-volt batteries. This means I always need 4 18-volt batteries to operate this battery bank. It's not enough to occupy only 2 battery slots. I really need an 18-volt battery in each slot. The batteries are inserted from below into the battery slot, securely and effortlessly locking into place. Importantly, I don't need to use 4 identical batteries. That is, I can have a mix of 3 amp hour and 6 amp hour batteries in these slots. It's worth mentioning in this context that if I want to maximize runtime, I should use as many and as large batteries as possible, such as 5 or even 6 amp hour batteries. On the whole, while not particularly spectacular, it's quite practical to mention. There's a small stopper on the underside. This ensures that the cover stays open automatically, leaving my hands free to swap the batteries, and then I can easily close the cover again. The controls, or rather the control element of the battery pack, as there aren't many, are located on the right side. As you can see, positioned at the bottom, there's a large rubberized button. This button activates the battery bank. You can see it from the LEDs. Now, power can flow through the cable to the respective device. It's worth mentioning that after activation, I can directly check the battery status of the 4 batteries. So that covers the actual battery bank. From here, a cable, which is sufficiently long in practical terms, approximately 1 meter in length, leads to the respective device. The cable itself gives an impression of being very robust and resistant, approximately the thickness of a finger, and at the end, there's the so-called PDC connector. This is where the name PDC01 comes from. And precisely at this point, the highlight of the whole thing comes into play. Makita offers 3 possible adapters here. Firstly, PDC to 18 volts, meaning to a single battery. Then we have PDC to 2 times 18 volts, which is the adapter included directly in the package. And finally, also optionally available, PDC to 40 volts XGT. In practice, I find this extremely advantageous because there are no limitations regarding the battery system. I can easily operate 18, 36, and 40 volt devices with my 18 volt batteries. The only drawback at this point is that I need a corresponding adapter for each system, and these adapters are also not really cheap. Otherwise, the operating principle is quite self-explanatory. I select the appropriate adapter, connect the large PDC connector. It can only be plugged in one way, and then I insert the battery dummies into the battery device, just like I would with a regular battery. After that, the battery-powered device is ready for use. In terms of versatility, we're not limited in any significant way because, as mentioned earlier, we can power 18, 36, and 40 volt devices. This device is particularly practical with tools like battery blowers, multifunctional drives, trimmers, and chainsaws. I'll link all suitable devices I've tested in the top right corner here in the info section. If you haven't watched these videos yet, I highly recommend checking them out. Also of interest is the practical battery life. This, of course, depends on the batteries I've installed in the battery bank. Because the larger the batteries, the longer the battery life. In my case, I've installed 4 5 ampere hour batteries. Furthermore, the runtime depends on the adapter I use. If I use a PDC to 18 volt adapter, I have 4 times the capacity compared to a regular 5 amp hour battery, assuming I have 4 5 amp hour batteries installed here. With the 36 volt adapter, it would be double the capacity, meaning double the runtime, and the same goes for the 40 volt system. For example, with this 36 volt leaf blower, I save some weight because the adapters are lighter than the 18 volt batteries. On the other hand, I now have double the runtime compared to 2 18 volt 5 amp hour batteries. For those of you wondering, similar to me, if I can only use an 18 volt device with the 36 volt adapter, unfortunately, that's not possible in practice. For this, we need the separate Makita adapter PDC to 18 volts. And last but not least, what else is there to say about this device? On the top, there are small click locks on the right and left side. With this, it's possible to detach the battery pack on the back and thus remove or replace the back carrying unit. This is quite practical, for instance, in connection with Makita's inverter module. With this, we can use the entire system as a mobile power station to generate alternating current on the go. Makita hadn't offered this on the market until now, so you can look forward to it because a separate video about this device will be posted on this channel in the future. So that's definitely about the Makita battery bank, the PDC01. The question arises, is such a device worth it? In my opinion, definitely yes. The question, however, is for whom? Personally, I would say for the average private user, this battery bank from Makita is simply oversized. Instead, this device is primarily aimed at commercial users who deal with battery-powered tools a lot and regularly, or private users who use their battery tools very intensively every day. For all those, this Makita battery bank could definitely be worthwhile, as it offers significantly longer runtime and better handling of the actual battery tools. So far, so good for this Makita gadget. At this point, I'm really curious in what scenarios you would use this device and what's your opinion. Feel free to write it down in the comments below. I'm looking forward to your feedback. And with that, I would say if you liked the video, please show it with a thumbs up to support this channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel quickly and activate the notification bell to not miss any future videos. You can find the current prices for this device in the video description below. Thank you very much for your support, and goodbye until next time. Goodbye.